If you've been diagnosed with an L4-5 disc bulge and it just doesn't seem to be improving, one of your everyday habits might be the reason. Most people think that it's that one bad movement that caused the problem, but in reality, it's usually small daily positions repeated over and over again that quietly increase the pressure in that L4-5 disc. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 common mistakes that can make that L4-5 disc bulge worse. I'll explain to you what's happening biomechanically inside the disc, and more importantly, what to do instead so you're not slowly making the problem worse without even realizing it. Make sure you stay to the very end, because mistake number 4, that's one that almost everyone is doing and they don't even realize it's causing so much of a problem for them. Hi, I am Dr. Chris Cameron, a chiropractor in Lucan, Ontario. I help people with degenerative spinal conditions like back pain, neck pain, disc bulges, disc herniations, and sciatica overcome pain and get back to doing what they love, all using safe, non-surgical corrective methods. On this channel, you'll find practical tips on healing disc injuries, strengthening your spine, and improving long-term spinal health. If that sounds helpful, make sure to subscribe. I post a new video each and every week. Mistake number 1, sitting in a slouched posture for hours. This is one that almost everyone is doing, and most people have no idea it's working against them. Sitting on a couch, driving with your lower back rounded, hunched over a desk, looking down at your phone, even eating with your head and shoulders rounded forward. It looks harmless, but here's what's happening inside your spine. When you're slouched, your lower back loses its normal, natural curve. It puts your spine into flexion. When flexion is sustained for long periods of time, the pressure inside the disc, it shifts towards the back where most L4-5 disc bulges occur. Think of the disc like a gel cushion in between 2 bones. When you round forward, the front compresses, the back pushes outward. If there's already a bulge pressing towards the nerve root, sustained flexion keeps feeding pressure into that same area, hour after hour. It's not one bad movement, it's accumulated pressure, and it's a frustrating part. Slouching feels easier. Your muscles don't have to work as hard. The body collapses into a path of least resistance, but your injured disc pays the price. What to do instead? Use a small lumbar roll or a rolled up towel behind your lower back. Sit slightly forward on your sit bones, not rolled back into your tailbone. Stand up every 30 to 45 minutes. Every 60 seconds of standing or walking shifts pressure off the disc. Small posture adjustments done consistently can dramatically change your recovery timeline. Number 2, repeated bending with a rounded lower back. This one sneaks up on people. You're not dealing with deadlifting 300 pounds, you're grabbing laundry, picking up your child, loading the dishwasher, pulling weeds, reaching into your car. Normal movements, done dozens of times every day. But every time you bend and let your lower back round, you increase the strain on the back end of the fibers of the L4-5 disc. It's called the annulus. One bend isn't a problem, it's repetition. Think of pressing on a bruise once versus pressing on it over and over all day. That's what repeated flexion loading does to an injured disc. Some people do their exercises in the morning, but undo it for the rest of the day. What to do instead? Hinge at the hips, not the lower back. Keep your chest slightly lifted. Engage your core gently before moving. Bring the object close to your body. Take a knee instead of bending repeatedly. You don't need perfection, you need awareness. Number 3, aggressively stretching your hamstrings. This one surprises a lot of people. When you have an L4-5 disc bulge, tightness in the back of the legs is common. So naturally, people want to stretch the back of their legs, the hamstrings. But aggressively stretching the hamstrings can only increase irritation. Here's why. Deep hamstring stretches tilts the pelvis backwards, which increases lumbar flexion, and flexion shifts pressure towards the back of the disc. But there's a second issue, the sciatic nerve. It runs through the hamstring region. This nerve is formed partly from the L4-5 nerve roots, the same nerves affected by that L4-5 disc bulge. When you aggressively stretch your hamstrings, you also put tension on the sciatic nerve. If this nerve is already irritated, tugging on it can just irritate it more. It sensitizes it. That's why some people feel temporary relief, but worse hours later. They weren't stretching a tight muscle, they were pulling on an irritated nerve. What to do instead? Try gentle nerve mobility or glides. Sit tall. Keep your spine neutral. Slowly straighten one leg until mild tension, then bend it back down. Move in and out. Don't hold it. If symptoms increase, back off. Stretching should calm things down, not provoke. Number 4, staying too inactive after flare-ups. This one comes from good intentions. Pain spikes, so rest. In the short term, rest 24 to 40 hours can absolutely help. But when rest turns into days or weeks of inactivity, that's where the problems start. Discs don't have a direct blood supply to them like muscles do. They rely on movement to exchange nutrients and remove waste. This process is called imbition. It depends on the loading and unloading of the disc. Movement creates a pumping effect. When you stop moving completely, the discs stiffen, muscles weaken, the nervous system becomes more sensitized. Prolonged inactivity does not speed healing, it slows it down. What to do instead? Controlled, tolerable movements. Short walks. 5 to 10 minutes is quite powerful. Change positions frequently. Move within your tolerance. Discomfort does not always equal damage. Motion, applied wisely, is medicine for the spine. Number 5, getting relief from walking, then sitting immediately. This one is subtle, but incredibly common. You go for a walk. Halfway through, your leg pain eases. Your back feels looser. You finish feeling better. Then you sit down on the couch for 2 hours, and the pain creeps back. It's not random. Walking encourages a mild extension bias in the lumbar spine, a good thing. It shifts pressure away from the back of the L4-5 disc. But the moment you sit, especially slouched, you reverse that mechanical effect. Pressure shifts back towards the back of the disc. You undo the benefits you just created by walking. What to do instead? After a walk, avoid prolonged sitting. Use lumbar support if you do have to sit. Alternate sitting and standing. Even lying in a supported neutral position is better than slouching. Recovery isn't just about your exercise. It's about the pressure patterns you create all day long. Now that you know the 5 everyday habits that quietly slow down the healing of an L4-5 disc bulge, and the good news here is that these small changes have a very powerful and cumulative effect. Drop a comment down below and tell me which mistakes surprised you the most. If this helped you, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for future videos. I post a new video each and every week on healing disc injuries and strengthening your spine safely. And if you're looking for a structured, step-by-step, non-surgical approach to healing an L4-5 disc bulge, watch this video here, where I break down my back strong protocol and the exact framework I use with patients to create lasting improvements. Start thinking about your pressure patterns across the entire day, not just during your workouts, and your recovery trajectory will completely change.